get home with my lady. I kiss her on the cheek, sit down on the sofa, start lamenting. I said, baby, I'm so glad you're home. Oh, my week has been so long. She said, I know just what to do. Let me go get a glass for you and we'll be sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me and we gon' be alright. Yeah, sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Sit back, relax, enjoy the time. Chillin' with my lady right by my side. She gets a little heavy-handed, but I'm experienced and I can stand it. I'm feeling so mellow. I just forgot about the week, oh. I'm gonna pour another one or two for my boo. She'll take another one and we'll be sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me and we gon' be alright. Yeah, sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Just relaxing, sipping on gin with the tonic on the side and a lemon twist. Imagine this, yeah. Just relaxing, sipping on gin with the tonic on the side and a lemon twist. Imagine this, yeah. Sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me and we gon' be alright. Yeah. Sipping on gin and tonic, dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Sipping on gin and tonic, sipping on, sipping on. Forget reality, cause I got you and you got me and we gon' be alright. Yeah, sipping on gin and tonic and dancing in the moonlight. Forget reality for tonight, cause I got you and we gon' be alright. Sipping on gin and tonic. Never thought I'd fallen in love again. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond, 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 beyond. It's been a while now since love's been in this place. You see, many have tried, but no one could take your place, girl. Why you so beautiful? I see the future in your face, baby. Never in a million years I thought that you'd be mine, girl. That you'd be mine, girl. Never thought I would fall. No, never. But my heart's been stolen again. But my heart's been stolen. Last forever. We will go. Ooh, baby. We will go, baby. We keep going and growing, girl. The best thing is knowing, girl. Cause when we KISSING, all I can say is OMG. You make all things right, baby. I trust you, girl, with my life. I don't want nobody but you. I'ma put my ring on you. Never thought I'd no, never. Ooh, baby. Again. This time, hope it lasts forever. We'll go beyond. We will go so far. Beyond. Beyond. You'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. We ain't looking for a thing. Yeah, you'll always find what you're looking for, and you ain't looking for a thing. Never thought I. No, never. Ooh, baby. Been stolen again. This time, hope it lasts forever. You hope, baby. I hope it lasts forever, girl. I hope it lasts forever, girl. Hey, 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 hey. You will go, baby. You will go, baby. Ooh, you will go, baby. We will go so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby. Ooh.
Anybody ever told ya what a woman really is? If you ever get the moment, show them how much they give. You're a shoulder I can cry on, arms I can embrace. Is to hear my deepest thoughts, protect her night and day. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You're all amazing. I try to describe. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You have birthed the nations, a nurturer you are. You bless us with your wisdom, and you tended every scar. You have found me broken, you have shown me light. You ignited all my passions, and loved me through the night. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing, cause you have given life. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. You are all amazing. I try to describe. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
To be a woman is to be blessed with unparalleled intuition, to be powerful, power independent of place or position. To be a woman is to be a mother, giving birth to sons and daughters, ideas, institutions, and business ventures. To be a woman is to be the current inspiration, the future aspiration of a young lady, of a little girl.
You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're a gem, a diamond flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You're a masterpiece of harmony, a melody of life. You're an African queen flower in spring, you're one of a kind. You are mother, sister, daughter, nieces, aunties, wives. So you are amazing. I try to describe you are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. You are woman. You are. Yes, you are, yes, you are. You are woman. You are woman. So you are woman. Hey. And when obstacles manifest as natural, you are born for this.
To be a woman is to be the heart of the system, to be the one who brings life into our world.
Warning. What you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
Hail, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I am your host, Neil. Wish I could say I was joined as always my brother from another mother, but he is somewhere around the place. But in the meantime and in between time, I have Dr. Carrie Ann Peart. She is here. Derek especially requested her to be on tonight. What's going on, Doc?
I'm good. How are you?
Blessed and highly flavored. I am. I good. I poker. You know how it is. I am biting, as what people would say, as Derek would say. Yeah. Let me see if I could get Derek here now.
Okay.
While let me see here. Let me see how many people we got. We got many people watching. I don't know if we got a lot of people watching. Maybe not. Who knows at this point?
Warming up.
All right. Oh, is very orange? Why is it orange?
You are
orange.
very orange.
Very orange. I don't know why. It's all orange.
There you go.
There you go. It's a little bright now.
You're blue.
Yeah. I did. Yes. Shout out Tango Fox. We here. Derek Marshall. I mean, if we don't want you tonight, my man, we try to call you. Derek chat thought if you want you out tonight, man. Man, calling. We use half of the show.
Oh,
good night
God.
to Cherish. Good night to Philip. Good night, everybody, and welcome to the Senate Pod. No, I'm blue. What's happening? I don't know. Yeah.
Oompa Loompa blue.
Oompa Loompa blue. Oompa Loompas are blue.
When
Wait,
they
hold
have
on.
too many blueberries.
Oh, true. You see, they're making a remake to Willy Wonka.
No, not watching the remake.
With Timothy Chalamet.
No.
Or Chalamet, depending on how broken your French is. Wait, hold on. Wait. You're coming like gangbusters. Hold on a minute, man. We can't. Wait. Yeah. You get offload. All alone by her alone, so south. I said, hold up. Wait a minute.
I ain't the crank.
What's going on? Yeah. We're getting on my brother.
Man, they here biting, as what people say. Get in, you know, it's happening here, so man, that every now and again they get a little stick up trying to get in the place, but I am here, ready to crank as always, doing the Lord's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna keep my stride. Ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no, big try. Anyhow, what's going on, my brother? You good? All right. Yeah. I see you got on something a little, you know, swaggerific, you know. Just,
you know how I do, man. You know how I do. You know how I do. I do my thing. I do me.
God damn it.
Shit. I do me, man.
Yes,
but yeah,
sir.
I hear, man. They here and they ready to crank. What's going on with you peoples?
Well, Dr. Carrie is, you know, I'll let her speak for herself.
All right. I hear for a request. Took my Advil, strapped in, I ready.
Not the wine, right? I hope not the wine.
No, I didn't mix the two. Yeah.
You see, if you're mixing the alcohol and the pain medication, that's a problem here.
Oh, that's a good way to get a nice sleep, you know.
Well, or a permanent sleep.
Depending how you look at it, you know, all is sleep.
Anyhow, I am good. You know, I can't complain. The day was hot today. We getting some rain. We had a tsunami warning.
Wow.
Yeah, man. We had
for something that apparently wasn't happening.
Yeah. It was off the Bahamas. There was the Bahamas or Bermuda or something. I think it's Bermuda. They had an earthquake, and they gave us the alert, but it wasn't really a alert. I know what to say. But you know, I live right here by the beach, so I'd be first to go. That's all right.
You go pay attention to them alerts.
Yeah. Anyhow, we are here, Derek. Of course, we would have been listening to the sweet singing sounds of the 6 members of G-Syndicate. So just do the due diligence and let the people know how, when, and where they can find G-Syndicate.
Yeah, man. You can find the fellas right now online at gsyndicate6.com. You can find us here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, G-Syndicate 6. You can also find us on Instagram, G-Syndicate 6, but you got to spell out 6 on Instagram, as you know, somebody decided they wanted the account more than us. But hey, hopefully when you see that one with the number, report that on Instagram, right? We got the guys, Kiyomal, Vaden, Mark, Brent, and Hugh doing good stuff. We got a couple of things to do coming up here, a couple of private events, so that's always great. We got bookings coming in for Christmas as well, so that's even greater. So we are good to go and be feeling sweet. So check out the guys, man.
Right, check out G-Syndicate, sweet singing fellas. And upstanding fellas too, you know, they're pillars of the community, in my opinion.
Indeed. Respectable men in the community, like Pastor Stewart.
Yeah. And then, of course, there on August 20th, we have the King's Gathering, the second edition. So you can go ahead and plug that as well for the lovely people.
You see Dion in the house. Good night to you, Dion. Good to see you. You see Nicholas in the crank one more time. Good to see you, my brother. Aston, Philip, Shane Worrell in the crank as well.
Shout out Shane, man. Shout out Shane.
Wait, did I miss anybody? Dr. Carrie Ann Pierce, she's here, and Steve as well. Shout out to all the people. This is going to be a great discussion tonight. But yes, the King's Gathering, the second edition, August 20th, over in the Ginger Lily Hall. We're going to have a great forum over there, a forum for men, but it's not limited to men only, right? We want the ladies to come out, get the information for the males in your family, in your immediate circle. We're going to have information for you guys on finance, how to set yourself up, how to save, how to invest. We're going to have information on fitness, nutrition, physical health. Ryan Arthur, he's going to present that particular forum. Dr. Carrie Ann Pierce, she is going to be doing a session for us as well. She did the Ace of Fun. At some point, we'll have her go over that. As a matter of fact, I think that'd be a very interesting discussion to have a Tuesday night. Let's plot that in for next week.
Sure.
Dr. Carrie, if you can do that presentation next week, that'd be fantastic for those who didn't get to see it. Will save me some writing as well. So the Ace of Fun, Dr. Carrie presented that at the first edition in May, and she's going to do stuff else. You're going to come in and see that. We're going to have some legal advice coming from attorney at law Jariah Rock. So, gentlemen, you need to know how to protect your assets and money around you when you go into these particular ventures, business ventures called marriage, right? So come out and get that information as well. It was an eye-opening experience. Philip can bear testament to that. He found out some very interesting information that has given him nightmares since then. So we want you to come on out and get the information that will be presented at the King's Gathering, August 20th, 6 p.m. That is a Sunday evening at 6 p.m. So that we open it up so everybody can be there. Saturday morning was a little rough for people. So we intend to do it on the Sunday evening so people can have a chance to enjoy the weekend and then come on out to that on Sunday evening. And to add to the occasion, we're going to have Tamtar Culinary Creations. They are going to be a part of it this time. They're going to provide a very light refreshment for you. You want to come in looking for your rice and stew. Yeah, very light refreshment. Something so that you won't starve and be breaking wind in the people air conditioned place and confusing the place, right? So big up Tamtar Culinary Creations, my boy Avery over there. They do meal prep and stuff like that. A lot of people asked about that after the first edition of the King's Gathering, so you can check them out as well. Tamtar Culinary Creations, thank you to them for coming on board for this particular edition. Is somebody, I feel like there's something else I wanted to say about it. I can't remember it. It's right now. Yeah, we got to go. The King's Gathering. Oh yes, it's the King's Gathering, folks. Not the Paupers Gathering, not the Powers Gathering, not the Prickles Gathering. Come out dressed to impress, right? The ladies came out, they represented last time. Fellas, we got to up the thing. We got to represent too. They had a couple guys there. Jason was there. Marlon was there. They came in their suits and blazers and stuff like that. Other guys came in the button downs. We may step out, right?
Yeah,
so fellas, we
even the women come out clean too now.
Oh, for sure. So we coming out, stepping the stars as kings to lead the way, and that's a nice segue into tonight's topic. Go ahead.
Right. No, so no, ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. We do content for you 5 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do the Senate. Well, we do Senate shorts. right? You can get a short tomorrow for sure. I just finished it before we started. You got one on Monday. I've been tinkering with the YouTube shorts. So yes, indeed, you'll be getting some shorts this week. And then of course,
and I got set to record here, so tonight when we done. So let me get through this here.
Of course, and you see the vigor and the fervor the man want to record. It can be rough. Anyhow, so if you want to watch that, if you want to see that, any content that we have, hit the notification, like, comment, share, subscribe, share with your people. Let me get the numbers up. Let me get the subscriber count out. We are thankful for the views that we get, all the shares and everything like that. And yeah, we have this space, the Non-Dipsy Doodle space. The live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Barbados time. Do not ask me what that is in your time zone. I do not know, right? So add, subtract, Google, do whatever you need to do, ask Siri, and they will tell you how, when, and where you can find us at 8 p.m. Barbados time. No, as I said, every Tuesday and Thursday, it is Tuesday, 8 p.m. We are going to be talking about something very interesting tonight. And of course, this is something that I feel we can always be talking about because we are a channel primarily surrounding men. So tonight we're talking about the return of the king. How is masculinity under attack? And how do we prevent further injury to it? So over to you, my brother. Lead us in sermon. The great godly Pastor Marshall.
Woo, that's a heavy intro.
Or goodly. I should say goodly, not godly. Goodly.
Yeah. This is episode 226, the return of the king, right? So the only cause I mentioned tonight, the like button, so hit that as you come on in. I hope that everybody's had a good time, and during the day you all are ready for what we are going to drop tonight, right? And it's going to be an interesting discussion, and it may or may not trigger a few of you. Some of you may actually have been saying all these things before, and it kind of clicking off, a light bulb going off in your head. I hope that's what was going to happen tonight when he finished with this little monologue, and we get into the discussion. I got Dr. Kerry here as well, right? So, your brand, gentlemen, your brand, reputation, it's all you have. And gentlemen, you need to be careful about the damage that is being done to our brand, our reputation as men. Masculinity in general, Black masculinity in particular, is under attack. And we as men, we need to recognize that and respond. Black men in particular need to pay attention to how we are being presented to the world. There was a time when Black men were presented as overly sexual and aggressive gangsters and doughboys, but there's been a shift that's been taking place, and it seems as if we aren't noticing it. Black men today in 2023, 2022, 2023, we are being presented as weak, effeminate, and I can assure you it isn't happening to any other race of men. The question is, why isn't it happening to other races of men? Many people will want us to not believe our lying eyes, as the man said, and they will bring out all the shaming language to gaslight and make us feel that the emasculation we are witnessing isn't actually occurring. We will be called patriarchal and bigoted for attempting to call out what is happening. But there is none so blind as he who will not see. And trust me, it is right in front of us for all to see. Yeah, get the first two things ready there, Neil. A few months ago, it was the Ebony cover featuring Jonathan Majors. And then there was the Vogue front page of Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. Right? Neil should got them on screen for you guys. You will see what we're talking about. Men push back, Black men in particular, we push back and said, nah, this ain't it. The young people that tell you. And then we heard how Neanderthal, primitive, and patriarchal we are. But I want to prove to you guys tonight that you are not paranoid, nor are you going crazy. The 54th NAACP Image Awards were a few months ago, and it may have gone unnoticed, particularly to us in the Caribbean. But what was on display was rather interesting, and the word I love to use is informative. There were a number of interesting events. Brittany Griner, who was arrested and detained in Russia for attempting to carry illegal substances across their borders, subsequently released in a prisoner swap for the Merchant of Death. It's a boat. She made an appearance with her wife Sherelle, and they received a standing ovation. Thus we noted. So let's have, folks, as this was an award show, they didn't win an award, but they made an appearance. So let's have a look at the list of winners and see what we shall see. If you like button, does it come on in for? And this is a complete list of the winners announced during Saturday's live telecast, and it follows. Entertainer of the Year, Angela Bassett. And that category was interesting. You got Mary J. Blige, Quinta Brunson, Viola Davis, and Zendaya. Zendaya, however you want to pronounce it. Outstanding Motion Picture. The winner was Wakanda Forever. Yeah. Surprised it wasn't the Woman King, but we go with that.
That had too much controversy.
Okay. Then with the misinformation on that.
Yep.
Then we had Outstanding Actor in a Motion Picture. That was won by Will Smith for Emancipation. Then we had Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture, won by Viola Davis for The Woman King. Outstanding Comedy Series, Abbott Elementary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Outstanding Actor in a Drama Series, Nico Annan for P-Valley on Stars.
Don't know what that is.
I know what it is, but I can tell you in a minute. See, Carrie Ann's forward brow, she doesn't seem to know what it is either. I'll inform you guys in a minute. Outstanding Actress in the Drama Series, Angela Bassett for 911 Fox. And then there were others in there, right? Dwayne Wade, our guy Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat. Bring Heat. Dwayne Wade and his husband were also winners of the President's Award on this night. And D. Wade took the time to give a speech and address his erstwhile son, Zaya Wade. So let's hear from D. Wade during this accepted speech as he accepted the President's Award. So let's hear what D. Wade had to say.
All right, let's get it. Dr. Carry you up to speed, right? Let's get it. In 3, 2. I mean, that's a great speech now. It's a great speech. No matter the subject matter, that was a good speech.
Riveting indeed. Folks, this is episode 226. Hit the like button. Share the content, you don't mind. Now, as you guys would have noticed by now, there was no true strong masculinity rewarded on this particular night. None. Most of the awards were won by women, and the men that did win were D. Wade and his husband, Will Smith. Two men who seemed to be firmly under the thumbs of their wives and reacting emotionally based on the information fed to them by their wives. And Nico Annan. Now, Nico Annan is an openly homosexual man. Nothing wrong with that. Let me say that up front. In 2023, love who you love, be cool with it, right? But he's an openly homosexual man who is the star of you, as you would have heard in the series P-Valley. And the P in P-Valley stands for pussy. Yeah? So literally, the name of the series is Pussy Valley. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not making this stuff up. Trust me, right? I wish I was, but so does anybody believe me? No, when I say that masculinity is under attack and being eroded and erased. Do you believe me? No. Yeah? When people come and tell you these things, or when we feel like, maybe something is afoot here. And people say, no, that ain't true. Do you believe me? No. And for those of you who will say, oh, these things only happen in the US, then weird. I want you to take note that Dr. Umar was here last weekend at her rally against the gender stuff. And I can't keep up all the different moving parts and the development, so you can just classify everything under the gender stuff. It's no disrespect to anyone, right? It just really can't keep up. This is the new image of black men being portrayed by mainstream media. Feminized. Sometimes, not even there at all. right? And some people will tell you, shoot, when you reward a situation like the Dwayne Wade situation, it's almost like you're trying to eradicate men altogether by converting young black males. Some people will tell me that as a reach. I won't reach that far tonight, right? This is a new image of black masculinity that's being portrayed in mainstream media. So the question now is, how do we course correct? I can keep it short tonight, right? How do we course correct in order to save our collective reputation? The simplest and fastest way, gentlemen, is for us as men to become builders. Back in the early 1920s, there was an oil boom city in Greenwood, district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Greenwood was also known as Black Wall Street, one of the wealthiest black communities in the United States. On May 31st and June 1st, 1921, so we're talking just over 100 years ago, mobs of white residents attacked black residents, homes, and businesses, as well as cultural and public institutions. As a result of that attack, 35 blocks were systematically looted and burned, and they destroyed 190 businesses and left 10,000 people homeless. 190 businesses. The property loss was estimated by the Tulsa Real Estate Exchange at the equivalent of $31 million in 2017, and that is likely an underestimation. Now, this next point is where Dr. Umar and I will agree, because you all know they don't really agree. Don't power with Umar, right? But on this point, this next point, we shall agree. We as men, we need to come together and pool our businesses, resources, and yes, finances with a view to creating economies. We are not building economies. Let me be very clear here. We are not building or looking to build economies to bail out those amongst us who would have made poor decisions across their lifespan. And when I say that, that's not just limited to women who would have made poor decisions in terms of with whom they would have reproduced. It's not limited to them. Is going to encompass the men who just decide that they don't want to do nothing in life. We got Kevin in Ukraine. Good to see him, my brother.
Did Lee just come in?
Yeah. You got Lee as well. So let me be very clear about that. Life is for the successful amongst us. So it will require all of us to at least attempt to come up to the mark. We cannot go forward as people, as a community, if we have to constantly reach back and drag the stragglers amongst us. Yeah? I got no problem helping the fella if he can help himself. So, back to the point. We as men, we need to do more in terms of being producers for and owners in our community, in and of our community. By producing more than we consume, we are now able to have ownership. And ownership is where the real power is when it comes to being able to control the narrative surrounding your image. Because now you own the media. You own the infrastructure. You own the businesses. As opposed to somebody else. Because Ebony magazine, for example, run by women, put out a feminized version of Jonathan Majors. Right? And that is what will go viral. We don't own anything, so we can't put out anything to combat that. So we need to do a better job of working together with a view towards building for the betterment, not only ourselves, but our families, and by extension, our communities. That may be the only way to reclaim our collective reputations. But, gentlemen, we need to act now if we want to be successful in turning the tide. And finally, see the return of the king.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are indeed watching the Senate podcast. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. You're coming in, you're watching. You can give us a like. If you don't like what we're saying, you could comment. Or you could do both. Who knows? Might help you get 100 years good luck. I don't know. Anyhow, in all seriousness, so Dr. Kerry, do you agree with Derek in your assessment of the emasculation or feminization of the modern black man? Do you agree with that assessment, or do you think there's an attack on masculinity? What's your opinion and take on it?
So I will agree that there has been, over the past few years, a significant tempering of Black masculinity specifically. And in the context that I'm normally in here in the US, right, I see that as an attempt to help the larger market accept the consumption of Black masculinity, right? Because the normal narrative is that Black masculinity was, out of control, as you said earlier, just overly sexualized, the mandingo type of thing. If you get caught in a dark space, the Black man is going to hurt you. That kind of rhetoric, and that narrative still exists in many mindsets here in the U.S. So I have seen and witnessed this tempering of that, particularly for these types of personalities in media, so that the consumption of the stuff that they produce is easier. It's more palatable, right? Jonathan Majors in particular, I can't remember. I think that Ebony piece came out prior to his charge.
Yeah.
Right. So it was kind of one of those things where I remember people tossing up like, here we are trying to temper this, but this is really how Black men are, regardless of what we try and, control. No matter how we try and, smooth things and soften things, the Black man is just always going to be this aggressor type of thing. So yes, I agree that there has been a serious focus on controlling the Black identity narrative, and that is nothing new. That is absolutely nothing new in the US or across the world. We are the global majority, and our narratives are often controlled because people just, don't want to accept and value the assets and richness that we do bring to situations. So, yeah.
So let me play devil's advocate, right? Would you say that all of what there and yourself you're saying and everything that, do you think that is so, or do you think that Black image is under attack, not necessarily just Black men? So for example, we've seen a evolution or devolving of the mindset of the modern Black woman in terms of their sexuality and sensuality and taking on the toxic aspects of feminism, etc. Do you think that this is a two-pronged question, and I can go to both you and Derek. Do you think that this is an attack on Black people altogether, the Black image? Because I remember we did Mirror Mirror and another thing podcast last year. Do you think that is that, or do you think that is a situation where they have already kind of gotten rid of, or kind of made the Black woman kind of, for lack of a better term, ratchet in the eyes of the world, and now it is on to the men, so to speak? Or just give me your opinions on that. As they say, play devil's advocate.
And what's funny is at least when I was growing up in the Caribbean, in Jamaica, the Black woman that was portrayed, I have two images that come to my mind right now. What is the image of the Black woman in Coming to America, juxtaposed by the image of Halle Berry and what's her face in Baps. Right? So growing up, it was like having to negotiate.
It's true because I remember it coming, not to cross you, but I remember it coming to America, all the women were presented in a very regal fashion, except for the sister who was a floozy. But even at the end, she had a bit of redemption, I guess, when this guy, the ex-boyfriend or whatever, tried to hit on her and was like, yeah, he's a creep, bro. Good for replace.
So there's always this kind of this world of class and this regal nature versus not regal and classless, right? And that narrative again has been going on for decades. So I don't think this quote unquote attack is new. I think it's modified, it's upgraded, and because of how media is, and because of the guise of female empowerment and all this kind of stuff, it has just gotten to this extent, right? And it's I have very limited opinions on it, right? I just get in where I fit in, and I pretty much don't fit into the majority of things, because I'm not out here as an Instagram model. I'm not out here as Club Sparta, you know. So I just kind of sit on the sidelines and watch the entertainment at this point, because, like Derek always says, right, the part of our narrative too as the Black identity is that we've been entertainment for so long.
Right. What's your take on? Oh, sorry. What's your take on it, my brother?
Yeah. I don't want to get into the other side of it too much in terms of the female side of the coin, because they will do that on Thursday. But so I want to separate them, because that is a whole different ball game altogether. But to Dr. Carey's point, yeah, I think we are the entertainment, the world's entertainment, and unfortunately, we can't seem to be able to turn what we get from the rewards for being the world's entertainment into anything that benefits community. So, for example, we got a whole set of millionaires in the NBA right now, right? We got a whole set of men that making upwards of $100 million. Like, and when they say a whole set, I mean a whole set, right? But we are never going to, and really consider what's going on here, right? You got, let me say Kevin Durant, for example, LeBron, Steph Curry. Those guys made upwards of $200 million. But we will never move to a point where we say, you know what? We are the talent. We got this startup capital. Let us pull out, form our own league. Let's do that, right? Because again, that's really ownership comes in. That's really power comes in, as opposed to going with hat in hand saying, yeah, cut me a check at the end, from the 1st to the 15th. You know what I mean? So that is where we need to go, for example, as opposed to saying, I'm going to some billionaires to get money. How about we pool our resources, that's what they say they ain't want to allow. We do our own thing. But the problem with us as Black people, I know this part of some real body, you know, by the time we pool resources, we know somebody can carry money.
Yeah.
That's the challenge there.
Or there's going to be some envy or jealousy, because if we all pulling together our money, and I decide I live in hype on the hog, let me, start dressing a different type of way or buying a certain level of house or car or whatever, and they getting all the attention, especially from women now. We know how that goes. Then all of a sudden, now it can be like, well, he ain't shit. He feel he better than me. This and that, and that, and third. When they just out here living my life. So,
So it's a matter of we have to be able to turn. We have to start thinking more collectively. We have to start thinking more in a communal sense, as opposed to me, this individual. And it's interesting because whenever we talk about Africanism, right, and going back to Africa and embracing African roots and all that, community is a huge part of that, but we never buy into that part of it because
we wear the dashikis when the African day.
We buy all the abe's cloth and thing.
Again,
to watch like we buy in that lane growth about part and read the shiki enough African print. Can I get an African print wrong couple years ago in abe's? right? But when it comes to really embracing the idea and the concept of community and building, we ain't want to do that, right? We ain't want to do that. We working for self. We going capitalistic. Everybody want to make their own money for themselves, and then the community suffers. We remain the world's entertainment, right? Yeah. When you consider that we are the persons who influence every major trend going on, right?
Yep.
Anything that is popular and trendy, it generally 99% of the time comes from us. It's take off, and then somebody else is the person who's able to monetize it, and then turn around and pay us pennies on the dollar to entertain people. You get what I mean? So now we gotta start thinking more in terms of, all right, how do I work with my man next to me so we can shoot? Let me say, we can pull together resources and we can buy an apartment building. We can start something like simple like that. We can buy an apartment building and we are going to go into business trying to elevate each other. Then we can flip that. We got a plan. We can flip that, or we can take money, reinvest into something else. We never think on that level. Never think on that level. We would come together. We would come together. A party, in fact.
Yeah.
We got our part locked down. Yeah. When it comes in terms of building
stability.
Yeah. We got that there. We got our dump part.
No. So okay, I can ask one last question and then I can go into my comments. So let's speak a bit again, playing devil's advocate. Let me switch gears and talk a bit of, there are millionaires and billionaires, black billionaires and millionaires that are indeed doing things. We saw Tyler Perry start the movie studio there in Atlanta, and it's getting a lot of traction. We see Jay-Z. Jay-Z is another one that is doing big things. LeBron James, he's another one that does big things for his community as well, with the I Promise School. So there are black billionaires out there. And then, of course, countless others that are not necessarily famous but rich. And they are doing what they're doing behind the scenes, making their money and not really worrying about the image of black people. They're just doing what they can control, giving back to their community and ensuring that, people get out the hood or the poverty does not come back to their community. What do you say about that? Is it a top-down kind of view, or do you think that we just would rather somebody else take care of it?
I think it's partly that we would rather somebody else. Before we go forward, let me show the people in the chat. I see Davidson in the
right? Davidson,
Father Davidson, shout out to him. Rianne in the house as well. Lee here.
Well, man.
Justin Clark here as well. Romel Vaughn. Big ups to everybody. We can come back. Kwame in the house. We can come back to their comments in a minute, right? Is it a top-down thing? You see, the challenge with us as a community is, I see Dion mentioned the word programming. We've been programmed to trust faces that are later complected, right? And it is very difficult for us to come together, to look past the skin color. We just call a thing a thing. It's very difficult for us to look past that and say, you know what, I got to work with my brother to build with my brother, right? So we think very, very individualistically. Very, very individualistically. And then it hampers what we're trying to achieve. Because, and I think it was Kwame came and I said it, the world's consumer, performer, right? Consumers, that is the biggest thing. The makeup industry, the hair industry is a $1 trillion industry. Selling hair, yeah, selling weave, dread, and guess what? We got trillions of dollars to put into that industry. And when they say we, mean men and women, because guess what? A lot of the women spending men money per year. They get any money from men, right? Let me keep it real tonight, right? So we got the money. to invest in things that really and truly in the long run do not matter. Right? You go downtown, Soul Addiction, a bionic shop next to one another, owned by people that are not Barbadian. Like to collect it. Don't look like me. Right? Don't look like me. Then we got other stores along where wherever you go downtown. As a matter of fact, pass downtown early in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock. I see who pushing the keys in the doors to open up. Ain't nobody look like me or you nor Dr. Kerry. You know what I mean? So we gotta stop giving loans and grants, stimulus packages. We gotta stop doing that. We gotta start investing, right? Start giving people money as a tax write-off, essentially. If we start investing, so you give people money that ain't gonna do nothing with it, they're gonna come back to you 2-3 months down the line to want more, right? Because we ain't building anything. Let me see. Davidson says, Derek, you spoke of economy. That is important, but the average Black person just want to be rich. And we do not understand wealth. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. Yes, Chris Rock said it famously. You could be rich, and you could lose that with someone with a bad drug habit, right? Wealthy, you can't get rid of that. That money long, as people say it, right? Instead of thinking about what I'm going to buy with this money, we need to think about our grandchildren and even our neighbors. And instead of just wanting to get out, be focused on bringing out others. Now, here is the problem now, right? As I said in the monologue, we cannot keep going back for the stragglers, right? We got this real...
that's a word here.
Yeah, because this is when community is kicking for us now. Because it's like, look at John Morant, for example. John Morant has made it out, but he's still going back because he won't be down. Black people love being down, you know.
But that's the insecurity that we have as Black people, you know, because we don't want to be. No boy don't want to be Carlton, you know. No boy don't want to be a sellout. Yeah. No boy don't want to be dressing preppy and looking later complected, as you like to say. We want to be down.
For example, go in effect. Any artists that come up on stage, what is there? Where are my poor people? And the people that in VIP that pay $300, $400, $500 to get in that VIP, them hand the ear talk about poor people. Yeah, and that is there's a video out there how to sell to the Negro, and they say when you and this has been studied. If you want to sell to the Negro,
you got to empathize.
You can't sell the Negro no off-market product, you know. Off brand, yeah, and you can't ask a Negro if he could afford it. That's an insult. He can bet for the more. Go ahead, dog.
So here's something that I'm seeing some of these comments and how easily we're saying stuff around, Black people. Basically, we're saying the things that Black people were not taught, right, about money management, investment, and all this kind of stuff, but the example that you used earlier with Black Wall Street defies all of that, right?
But come on, hold on. I can because I feel like playing devil's advocate tonight. That was 100 years ago, dog.
Regardless of being taught or not taught about these things, there's so much information out here as to how to build communities, how to successfully navigate. Listen, I mean, you can pull up a video on YouTube right now about in vitro fertilization. So don't give me no bullshit about you not knowing how to save money or invest, right? The information is out there. The problem with us as Black people is that we are choosing, by and large, a majority of us are choosing to consume fuckery.
We do not want stability. Listen.
We don't.
Listen.
Because it's too hard. It takes too long.
It takes too much effort. Right? No, I wouldn't even say not only does it take long, but it takes too much. Well, you finish me your point because I can start going into my conversation.
So you don't need a PhD. You don't need to stay in school for 12 years. You don't need to go through all of that, right? I just simply say that there is a problem with us not paying attention to the things we are consuming and recognizing that we're wasting a lot of time. As Derek was saying earlier, we quick to say, hey, Kevin, hey, Philip, let's put together a lime and run a boat and make a quick buck, right? But we're not thinking, hey, Kevin, hey, Philip, come over by my house and let's look at this YouTube video about investing and property management. Nobody wanted that. That's not cool. Furthermore, it might be like, that's gay, right? You may even go that far.
You want to learn?
Wrong with us in that, because by and large, again, we are the global majority. And as such, we are some of the most educated people on the planet. But yet, we settle for fuckery.
All right. So this is my thing, right? The problem we have here, this is a multi-layered problem. We are talking about the return of the king. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Share with your friends. Okay, likes up, people. We're talking about return of the king, right? And Derek's monologue was centered around men, and men being more purpose-filled in community, right? Now, I know a lot of people will say, and I find it interesting that people always go back to the history. Oh, we were taken from our homeland, our identity, our community, and everything was taken from us, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those things are true, but those things are, we can't go back in time and stop that.
Right.
Unless we could get the DeLorean, get to 88 miles per hour, and get to start the first white man or the first black man from coming to Africa and messing up your thing. We can't do that, right? But I think the problem is, right, is yes, there's a bit of programming. We have been shown and taught a life, and it is what it is. We find validation in it. We find ease in it. We find comfort in it. We find solace in it. We revel in it. You understand what I mean? And in 2023, because we have things like the fourth wave feminism, we have the female empowerment, all the different buzz terms and words. I know I've said this to both Derek and Dr. Kerry, right? Sometimes it seems like so much. When you go on social media, right, it seems like so much. There's either, the black on black crime. There's either the white authority dealing with black people. There's either the indoctrination of children, the different cancelization of all sorts of different things, and how quickly people were willing to turn on you. There are, how people want to, in one space, police your words, and then another space, you could say what you like once is fitting my agenda, this wokeism. There's so many different terms and buzz phrases and things that are keeping us in such a stupor that some of us either circle the drain with it, or some of us say, fuck it, I can just go and make, I don't mean to swear, sorry, because I know we got, but we want to remove ourselves. Look at me being respect.
Priest in the house,
reverence a priest. I don't listen, Pastor, I can just warn you now, right? We are good men. It's just sometimes it's got to speak your mind. Not this to do the space. But no, there's sometimes some of us, we circling the drain, going down the toilet, but then some of us are choosing not to mess around the toilet. Some of us just are comfortable getting our life in however comfort we can comfort and just keep pushing, right? So the problem I see here is that I don't know if there is some nefarious entity at work. I cannot confirm that or anything like that. I can just say that, and we speaking from the perspective of black men, but really and truly, there is an attack on masculinity regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity or anything like that. Right? Shoot, the other day, in the Middle East, they were looking to, call out and protest and do all sorts of things because of how their society has been going on for millennia on end, and how they're trying to change certain things. Now, I ain't saying that. I ain't getting into the politics of the Middle East. I am just saying that there is this thought process that masculinity, up to this point, is toxic. There is no, if you are a man, you speak directly, you move in a certain integrity, or you have standard, right? Or you're willing to forego certain frivolities and actually be stable in your life, you are seen as what is wrong with society, or you're either not fun, you're either toxic, or you're either the reason why there has been an oppression of women. You see, there's a lot of things at play here, right? One of the things is that feminism, as good as it has been, there's an element of feminism, in my opinion, that I think has done a disservice to the Black community in particular. Women in general, but we can talk with the Black community. Because women have been empowered now to think that they do not need a man. And to think that all of it is Ike Turner or all of it is Bobby Brown. Sorry, Derek. All of us are, we are.
Call somebody else.
My bad, man. I was trying to make a point, but all right, fair enough. But we are drug dealers. We are gangsters, thugs. We abuse our women. We rape our women. We do all of these terrible things to our community. Shoot, hear some YouTubers tell it. Some corners of the internet, you will hear that we're the most dangerous being on the planet. Right? And I think that when you empower, you see, we have been led astray, led asunder. Men and women need each other. The masculine needs the feminine, and the feminine needs the masculine. The problem is now is that we're divided. Because one subset say we don't need no man. Right? One subset saying that you're too toxic. How you could talk to me so, I ain't want you little whores. Sorry again, Pastor. I ain't making you a sandwich. I ain't submitting to you, etc., etc. There's that school of thought. Right? And then we as Black men, we've been out here, we've been socialized to have many women, to, you know, drink and indulge in vices and all those things. Right? So this has been in the works for a long time. And I think how we return to it, there is speaking about community, that is a very big part of it. Now, the problem is that you cannot have any community without the family. And in the Black community, we have a problem because we have no nuclear family. We can go through the statistics, and we've done it several times. But we don't get married as Black people, women and men. Don't come and see the men in the good. We ain't getting married. And if we certainly get married, we're getting divorced. So we're not building legacy. Not even in the basic context of legacy. We ain't talking about legacy as saying we got $100 million in the bank, or that we, you know, would have built schools and reservoirs and had farming. No, we ain't talking about that legacy. The simple legacy of having a nuclear family and functioning children and a stability within the core and foundation of a community, we do not have. So we can't. I appreciate what Derek is saying. I appreciate Derek saying we have to invest in our community and we have to go back into the community. But respectfully, Derek, that ain't happen because we ain't got no family. You're asking people to pour into a community when they don't pour into their own family and their own small community within their four walls of their house.
Well, I push back. I don't have a family. I'm not married. I don't have no children.
Yeah, but that's
but
you.
That doesn't mean, yeah, that's me. But that doesn't mean that I cannot pour into my community. I have selected to pour into my community because of things that I'm aware I can do, right? So I wouldn't say that people searching for or meeting the criteria of having a family is then what qualifies them to give back to their community. I would not say that at all. Okay. Because by and large, there are many people, some people out here do not want to get married.
Some people out here have 9 children for 9 different men.
I appreciate that. And you guys discuss the recklessness of things and the debauchery of things, right? There's the other side to the equation. Not every woman out here wants to be a mother in the physical sense of birthing children, right? Not every man out here wants to be a father. Not every man and woman out here wants to be married. Some people just cool as is. Let's just call a thing, right? Yes, being married facilitates having a structure, a framework in which, if people agree to have children, and a space in which you can educate and inform, right, through particular means and measures, to then develop some level of giving back to a community. Absolutely agree with that. I do not think it is safe to say that that is the ideal, because it's not for everybody.
Hold on. I'm not saying it's for everybody. I want to be clear. I'm not saying that marriage is for everyone. But come on, dog. Let's look at the numbers. Ain't like the majority of we getting married. And to your point, I understand and appreciate what you're saying. I'm not saying this is one of those not all arguments. I'm not saying that every woman should be a mother. I'm not saying every person wants to be married. I'm not saying that. But when we look at our community, we don't get married. And if we do get married, we're not staying together. I ain't talking about some, I thought 25%. And it dropping. So in my opinion, while I appreciate that there are people that may not want to be married or want to have children and want to pour into their community, I am saying that as a race, as a community, Black community, we are not doing things in the right order. We are not doing things that make sense.
I hear that, and I raise you the fact that it begins with personal discipline, right? This is what I'm saying. There is a idleness that we have taken on in many of our communities where you guys call it accountability. I lean into it from a personal discipline side of things, right? There is information out here, like I say, but people are choosing to spend time on Instagram instead, looking at porn and having the time of their life talking about who traveling where and all the vacations.
Don't
and
not the porn, Dr. Carey. Don't not the porn.
Right?
Come on,
Hold on.
man.
Hold on. Hold on. Just time out. Porn, prawn, adult entertainment.
So that
you don't want to get canceled.
So that stuff versus you can have your fun time, and I'm saying don't have your fun time. Absolutely. But where is the time spent in developing your discipline around yourself, your money, your career, your family structure, where is the time in that, right? When you look at the amount of consumption, if you look at your phone and ask your phone to tell you how much time you've consumed, because phones nowadays tell you how much time you spend screen time and all that kind of thing. And you look at that at the end of a week, mine tells me on a weekly basis. And mine programs to tell me how much time spent reading information versus social media versus that. If you look at your phone and it tells you that your social media consumption and your shopping consumption is more than you edifying yourself, then you have a problem, right? And that is what is lending to Derek's phone. Probably is the exception in here, right? Because of all the content.
Hey, leave out Derek's phone, man.
But there is something to be said about how we are just willy-nilly about self-discipline.
All right, but
right? And if we don't have that self-discipline and tapping into the necessary pieces of building community, building legacy, looking at how to invest, how to practically navigate a career, whatever, because all of that is out there, but we are choosing not to.
But here's a quick.
Let me just jump in because yes, thank you, Dr. Rianne. Wealth is built in families. Yeah, wealth is built in families. So whenever we talking about wealth, we're talking about rich. You can be rich by yourself, right? We're talking about wealth. That is built in families, right?
Right.
Because the reality is, and we see all the statistics before, when we're talking about these single parent homes, them is the children that's end up more than likely in jail, right? Them is be the ones, being the bane of the society. So when we start talking about the discipline, as you highlighting, Dr. Carey, we're talking discipline, we're talking structure, we're talking order, right? Those are things that are almost inherently masculine, right? We know we're talking about the structure of a man versus the chaos of a woman. And we're not talking about chaos in a negative way before people start coming for me, right? Yeah. Because men can be very ordered, very structured, very routine. And they need a woman to come and balance that and disrupt things, right? So the man don't drive himself insane. Because guess what? Men are supposed to build. We're talking about them 4 P's: provide, protect, problem solve. That's what we do. Well, playing the procreation too. That's what we do, right? And we can drive ourselves insane trying to build. We order, right? The reality is you need the balance. And we get that balance in a family structure. call it structure for a reason, right?
Absolutely agree.
So when we come down the line, we got to do it in order, right? Can't decide we want kind of work it out by the way. So we can't ignore the statistics about, single parent homes and all that, and then expect to get the right outcomes at the end.
I agree with you there. I agree. I'm just simply saying that not everybody funnels into that ideology.
But what I'm saying, what I'm saying, two things. One, I completely agree with you, but we still, as Derek said, and as people are saying in the comments, we cannot ignore the fact that if you got children, a partner, a house, and stuff to maintain, and you both that purpose and building that, you want a time to be able to put Instagram twerking your tail and all that there. So to me, family brings that, helps you to bring that discipline. It helps you to be grounded. So while I'm not here saying that every woman should be married. I'm not saying you fit in where you get in. But what I'm saying is that, yes, what you're saying, Dr. Kerry, is not everybody that mold family, children, etc. looks like that. That means that it excludes them from pouring into community. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we ain't getting married as a community. We ain't staying together married as a community. We ain't even getting married and having the children. We have no structure in our community. So it's not even it. To me, discipline is one of those things where marriage is sorted out. When you got a partner, you held to account. When you got a family, you held to account. When you got property, hold on.
But your divorce rates are showing no, right? Nobody wants to down and work through the shit. Nobody wants to do that anymore.
Get married, take some pictures for the gram, and then
right. But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you gotta understand, this is a multi-pronged issue. This is not. I'm not saying that because there's a reason why family is the way it is right now. The way where our community is where it is right now in terms of family, marriage, children, etc. Right? Part of it is feminism. Part of it is social media. Part of it is the thinking of back then and people not wanting to return to that thinking. Allah, a man go and work and get the bacon and a woman start home and take care of home and children. Right? So what I'm saying is that in my opinion, and we can agree to disagree and that's fine. In my opinion, I think the cornerstone of any community is the family. I think the structure, stability, and discipline in the family is what is missing. And I think the Black community, we have that problem. Because watch, we got a lot of women that ain't getting married. We got a lot of men that ain't getting married. We got a lot of men that having children willy-nilly or not having children. And women not having children or having indiscriminate children. The point remains is that they are doing nothing for the community by not pouring into their community, because we talk about pouring into the community only as financial, right? But it is not only financial, because we have no structure or discipline at all. So to me, finance is down the road, right? Moving with intention is a problem we have in the Black community. Moving with discipline and purpose is a problem in the Black community. So in my opinion, the corner story, like when you look at all of the other cultures through history, you could look at all of the examples that show there is a legacy, a family structure in the communities when it comes to the legacy of communities, right? And we have to do a better job of not feeling as if marriage is this albatross of a chore. And it is supposed to be contentious, and it's supposed to be the old ball and chain home game. We keep it a noise, and he out drinking. He's come home, he boys and this and that next, right? I agree that there should be some, because and this is the point I wanted to make before he got put off track. I think that we have come to a crossroads where men should not just be this silent bastion of pent up emotion and vulnerability and aggression. I do not think that we are there anymore, right? But I think that we are not striking a proper balance. Yes, we see in men like Jonathan Majors, Rihanna, and A$AP Rocky. We're seeing examples. Shoot, they even got the old adage in Hollywood that if you want to make it as a Black man in Hollywood, on a dress, you good to go. You get the Oscars, the success, the business, the roles can start rolling in, right? Now, there is the emasculation and feminization of women. I mean of men. And then there is the other side of it where men don't talk or feel comfortable to talk or feel comfortable to share or feel as if, shoot, men don't even want to approach women no more in these times because we get ashamed. So if we get ashamed on the initial approach, you can imagine when we together now 5 years, got 2 children, I come and say, babe, I ain't feeling so good here. Mentally, I kind of burn out. Well, shoot. We've seen it diverse of times where there is no space for a man to fully express who he is as a man in a healthy way. All he is left is with the toxic ways of doing it. Yes, being silent when you are... We had another, I didn't tell you this, Dr. Carey, but we had another self-deletion today in Barbados, right? Another one. And since you were here, you know how many self-deletions we've had. We've had another one, and that's probably, must be about the 3rd or so for the month. A month no start.
And this is also a male?
And this is a man, right?
Yeah.
There are pressures that are being put, and I don't want to make this about men and the pressures. There are pressures on people in this current age and society to keep up with the Jones, because we had a 23-year-old woman self-delete herself a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't even just say that it is wrapped up around, and this might be a little, I expect some pushback from this, but it's wrapped around masculinity. In that, whether you are a man or a woman, putting on the cloak of masculinity to traverse the life and the world around you, masculinity, nobody don't want to walk in these shoes because it is tough.
It is.
It is hard work being a man because you got to, we live in a results-oriented world, show up Silky. We have to show and prove. Show and prove. We got to show we working in all ways. We shoot, Dr. Carey used hold me to account in terms of we've been friends for many years, like even in like mental and emotional detoxification of myself and holding myself accountable in my mental health, right? Like there is a pressure to share and there's a pressure to know when to share and there's a pressure to know when to shut up and just do. You understand? Cause let me be honest now, most women out there, if I come home and say, babe, feeling depressed, man, I ain't feel like getting away tonight and this and that. I ain't got time for that. I got poster, man. I got bombs into shit, right? And today, shout out Ramat Jean-Pierre. Hold on a minute. Stop the podcast, man. Ramat Jean-Pierre, we have to have a conversation, my brother. But glad to see you. Hope everything is well, right? Yeah, I think that there is an issue here. I think what needs to happen here is, I think men need to put the foot down and say, all right, enough is sufficient. Enough is sufficient. Yeah. Right? Men that are of standard. If you are a man listening and watching this, and you've worked on your body, mind, spirit, health, education, wealth, whatever you worked on, and you have a certain confidence and value in yourself, if you are with a woman that ain't serving you or benefiting you in any way and is more a bill and a liability to you, you need to reconsider that relationship. And going forward, if you pick up any woman, man, Derek said it. Derek said something that was so poignant. Ain't everybody that is going to be getting on this bus. Ain't everybody in the NBA, right? When you come in as a rookie, the man's bring you in and the man's got orientation. Man, tell you here soon, right? You coming into real money here, right? Someone that can make hundreds of millions of dollars. And I know some of y'all come from poor, impoverished, downright ghetto places where there's crime, deletion, all sorts of things, drugs, everything. Everybody that you grew up with ain't to come with you here. Everybody. I even seems to walk about with 20, 30 people. Carry them out in strip clubs, spend $40,000 a night I think in strip clubs. He used to do that every night on the road. Iverson the Brett, and he didn't have a 40 yet. Iverson is an all-time great. So, gentlemen, please understand, ain't everybody to come on this journey. Right? I understand you got a loyalty, you got, you're done with your set, you're repping your people, a little nut and pookie that come up with you one thing. I ain't tell you not to look after them in some way, but they can't get on the ride. If they ain't serving you, don't let them get on the ride. You got to put your foot down. It's about boundaries. And right now, I think what men need to do is they need to say, you know what? Enough is sufficient. I am at the point now where I like Eminem. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? In that, if you think that I am not man enough, if you think that you know, if you think that I am toxic, if you think that I'm a misogynist, you think whatever you think, I am probably that. Because you don't know me.
Right.
But what I will tell you is that men need to really say, you know what, respectfully, I ain't dealing with that. I showed Dr. Carey today. Dr. Carey and I, share a lot of content when the day come, right? And took her on a journey on Instagram to a particular local site where there's a lot of booty shaking and a lot of twerking and a lot of scantily clad women, etc. And we went on my explore page and I was just showing her, this is what it is.
And Derek, I wasn't feeling well already, right? So
yeah. Okay. But the thing about it is that what we men have to do. I showed Dr. Carey on a woman today, right? A woman that I know. I'll just leave it there. Woman is a gorgeous woman. Dr. Carey, am I a liar? The woman is gorgeous.
I don't know which one.
No, this is you can know which one I mean. This is the one they say that I would not have sex with her with. I would not have sex with her with another man's penis. Not have sex with her. I would not deal with this woman in any way, shape, or form. And the woman is a gorgeous woman walking planet Earth here. But we have to listen, man. The penis got a little head, and I don't mean that in a pun or anything like that. We go. But I mean that in a serious sense. We gotta look at some women, right, and say, "Here, tune. I would not even lie down with you. Wouldn't even care."
Here's the thing: it ain't just dealing with the women, as you say. You got. When we think in community, we gotta think everybody.
Yeah.
So there's some women that definitely can't deal with, but there's got some men too that you definitely can't deal with. And you gotta get them from the circle, right? I see Davidson is saying, what we miss is there has been a gradual and a subtle eroding of the family unit. This takes back to the attack on masculinity. Statistics show that the homes without the father contribute to the large percentage of offenders, right? Mm-hmm. And then Rian made this point. Even look at arranged marriages, example, Indian families. The ladies didn't want it, but they knew it was their duty. Yeah. Because we are so free now, there's no structure. We are living a hedonistic life. Yeah.
And that is just to comment real quickly on that. That's a fact, We all want traditional outcomes. The men want a traditional woman that cook and clean and submit. And the women want a man to protect, provide, and all of those things. But we are measuring up to what we want as men and women.
We're doing it a backward way. And Kwame says we can't do it through family primarily. That problem is huge. If we need to solve that first, we ain't never starting. You got to move with the times and be flexible. Exactly. Which is what I'm saying. We got to come back to being builders. We as men, shout out to Dr. Umar here now. We as men need to work together as men. Right? And then let us take that forward into our community. No, to Neil's point, and every woman that you could carry with you on that particular journey. And every man, so you can go and left your brother behind, you can go and left your cousins or uncles, some bewitched auntie. Sure, you might go and left your father and mother behind to go on this journey. Because if your job or your mission is to build something, you will have to kind of do some pruning, trim the tree, cut off the dead leaves and kind of things. So we could go forward. But if you keep looking back to deal with people that ain't but not, I tell them all the time, a pig and a chicken. A pig should never go into the ham and egg business with a chicken. Yeah. Because the pig will have to give his life while the chicken will part out eggs. So if you as a pig, a man, you got something to lose, you cannot deal with people who don't have anything to lose. The fastest thing you will do is become one of them, somebody with nothing to lose. So if we are going forward, let me be straight, there are people who will go with you. And this includes women. There are good women out there who will want to build with you and do something. Yes, Aston, there are good women out there who will want to build something with you and go forward. Our job is to find them. And as Neil saying, when they got certain things that committee catchment, as you would say, Aston, there will be some women who will committee catchment. We need to be aware of the fact that you can't build nothing with them. as bad as it sounds, lady, or let me use the Aston version of it. When they come in the catchment, all it is doggy and bad intentions. It can't be nothing else.
Aston, I want video. I want video, Aston.
Yeah, for the time you seek to have these women around you for more than recreational purposes, you put it that way, you are running the risk of destroying everything that you would have loved to build. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, Aston, just to not to take away from the discussion, but now that I remember, I want a video of you saying, ain't nothing but doggy and bad intentions. If you're committing catchment, ain't nothing but doggy and bad intentions, just like that. Anyhow,
can I, because Romel keeps harping on this thing. I don't think I know Romel. I am very well aware, Romel, that family unit is the cornerstone of community, right? I came from a 2-parent household. My dad is also my superhero. You know, you're taking it to a point now where it's like, all right, cool. My point is, not everybody comes from that mentality and they find other ways to give back to their community, right? That's my reality in observing other people and working with other people. I'm not saying to be reckless and go out here and not establish family units and build from there. That's not at all the point. I want a family. It just doesn't necessarily mean I have to have children, right? Of course, I want to be married and all that wonderful stuff. But just to be clear, because I see you making all these comments about your father and stuff like that. Excellent. I am very happy that your dad is also your superhero. Let me just clear that up. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
She's not against the family unit.
Against
no, let me put it in my terms men will understand. Dr. Carey is not saying that she's strong, independent. I don't need no man. That's not what she's saying. What she's saying is that there are a lot of people for whom family will look a little different in terms of their family unit because of the particular set of circumstances.
Dr. Carey is very independent.
So
it's like, why is he going so hard on this? Like,
because I think that because I understand what you're saying, but I think that you interjected with the pushback of people can contribute in other ways.
Yeah,
than just family. And to Kwame's point, which I accept, is that in 2023 is going to look much different than just having a family, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
so is I like Romela could assure you she does believe in family and everything like that, but I think that that is a Rubik's Cube that we got kind of unpick. Anyhow,
we're trying to get Dr. Carey married by 2024. We working on it. For the mission.
Yeah.
For the mission.
We can see how that goes. As Derek said, I like to eat cake.
Leave it.
I like to eat cake. I like to dance too. I like to dress up. You know how we just get down that dog. We just swag it up.
God damn it.
I could two-step. I could raise the toes. Look, I thought so much junk you better here. That's if I invite a call, I get thought big junk.
Right.
Correct, Rihanna. Hashtag goals. Folks, this is 20 minutes past the hour of 9 in Barbados and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. This is episode 226, The Return of the King, here on the Senate podcast, the live stream version. We've had a spirited and riveting conversation tonight, and you've weighed in the chat. We definitely appreciate that. We really do. Those of you who are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Those of you who are old to the channel, ensure that you are still subscribed. We love and appreciate each and every one of the 542 of you. And again, if you are in here and the price of admission for tonight's show was the like button, so hit the like button for us. Asking the same margin is too serious a risk. I would eat the kid though, for sure.
But hold on, let me just say here, not across you, brother. But I think it's important for me to say that whatever we do as a community, like you're calling for men to return to being kings and investing and building wealth and legacy, right? But I will say this. We need each other to get this thing done. We need men and we need women. So don't feel they're saying that, telling one of women to just sit back and watch men work. Because we need women to return to femininity as well. Men need to return to masculine, and women need to return to feminine. That is important.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely.
And masculinity only knows it's masculine when it's around feminine that knows it's feminine.
So no. You can't say that one time. Hello. Say that again.
Just want to put that in there.
Just say
that
it again.
Masculinity only knows it's masculine when it is around feminine that knows it's actually feminine.
I am so glad you said that, because this goes back to a lot of women saying, oh, I can be feminine only when a man shows me that he's masculine.
No.
The same way a true feminine knows it is feminine around a true masculine is the same way a true masculine knows. Like, people, we need each other. We are the yin and yang to each other.
Yeah.
So, I just saying, the same. Yeah.
On Thursday night, folks, we will definitely get into that, because we're going to talk about how is femininity under attack. How we can get further injury to that.
I think people will.
Episode called Black Beauty. That's the name of that episode.
Black
Beauty.
Correct. Big up Barry Salmon. So we definitely touch on that on Thursday night. That's going to be a more interesting discussion, and I hope the ladies come into that particular discussion, because it's going to be interesting.
That can touch a button.
It's definitely going to touch a button, because we got to put the spotlight on the things that are happening.
Hey, yo.
We got to call it for AIDS. The same way we talk about feminizing the women. We got to talk about how we masculinizing. masculinizing the women, right? Feminizing the men and masculinizing the women. So we can definitely talk about that on Thursday night.
Gotta live your soft girl era.
Right?
We can be talking about soft girl era. I thought that's so bad. So bad.
Well, we'll see where it goes, because
soft girl era, man.
It's
so
going
much
to be
garbage.
It's going to be an interesting discussion for sure. Some of the stuff that I already kind of put together for that, and I actually have some other content there that I didn't think about that I'm going to put with that. We're going to make it a very large show. So any of the ladies that interested, feel free to come on. We're going to have Ramel Hall on that show. He's going to be on that show. He'll make it tonight. So it's just Dr. Kerry. But Dr. Kerry will be back, and Ramel will be back as well. So I want everybody to come in on Thursday night and tune in for that. It's going to be it. Because, again, we talk about building a community. We can't build a community without the women. Yeah.
You will.
So we as men, we got to do our part at the top, and then it got to trickle down, right? Water just run down. Right?
Yeah, but the women didn't want to be enough. The women didn't want to get poured into the. Real quick. Up to today, I heard a woman say that they want a man to pour into them, right? And I find it funny, because how you put it just now with that analogy, women didn't want to be the vessel to receive water. They want to be the top pouring the water. What women want to be poured into, right? So you want pour the jug, and you want to catch the water too.
No.
But
just saying. I'm
just
just saying.
Goes, man. That's 2023. False. Neil, Dr. Kerry, and I, we don't make it the rules. We just make sure you know what they are. Yeah. You can ignore reality all you want, but you cannot ignore. Vessel to receive money. Lord, don't get about it, patience. You can ignore reality all you want. You cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Be the best version of you for you. We are going to see you guys again on Thursday with the episode 227. And I saw Kwame shout out the fact that we are at 226 episodes. I think that's an awesome achievement now that he highlighted it. There's a lot of content.
A lot of work.
Yeah, and we got some shorts coming for you this week. We're going to record some shorts, and trigger these here. So right now. So yes. Hit the notification bell to ensure that you're still getting the content when the content is released. Yeah. And as you traverse these dating and mating streets, please remember, we can see you guys on Thursday. Peace.
Reverend Boy, pray for us here. It can be a rough half hour now.